Ain't no half stepping with Marcus. Jay, we're back. Jumping into the National Basketball Association. We appreciate everybody listening to us that's still here. And as we do every chance we have an opportunity, we go to Atlanta, Georgia, and we get the Kdub report from the man himself. We got Kdub on the live line with us. What's up, my brother?
I'm good, man. What's going on, everybody?
We chilling, man. It's good to hear from you, man. We're glad to have an opportunity to do the Kdub report, and we got a lot of good games, particularly with what's going on in Madison Square Garden. But we always like to leave what's going on with those cats last. So I want to start out in the West and bring it back to the East, and we'll start it off based on the seedings. So we'll go 1-8 first. What's going on with the OKC Houston series?
Well, what you might have saw last night is that Houston basically it looks as though that Houston ran out of gas. There were a lot of plays that you would see from an 8th seeded team. A lot of mistakes, I should say. Jeremy Lin, being the point guard or whatever, had some key mistakes in the first half. If you watch the game, the last 2 minutes of the first half was indicative of the whole game, where you had opportunity. They were able to blow the lead 4 points. Oklahoma City had a lead of 4 points and boosted it all the way up to about 15 real quick off some Jeremy Lin turnovers. You have the return of James Harden to OKC, where he got drafted at or what have you. It looks like it's going to be an entertaining series. My prediction is that it'll probably go about 5. I'll give Houston a game in Houston that they'll win. Let's do this. Let's quick hit them all so that we can get them all.
So you got OKC in 5. Let me get the fellas' prediction real quick, and then I'm gonna come back to you. Carlton Banks, OKC in Houston. How many games you got it? Who you got winning?
You know what? Let's go ahead and put it to 7 games because I think the Beard is going to step up and take it to 7 games, but OKC wins it outright.
Big Rube, what you got?
I think Carlton Banks has lost his damn mind. It's going to be 5 games, maybe even 4. I don't really trust Houston that much.
I agree with Big Rube, and I agree with Kdub. I think you out your damn mind for thinking this is going any more than 5 games. I got OKC kind of running. It was nice to see the way the seeding set up with, James Harden going back to OKC to play against his old team in the playoffs. It's nice to see Jeremy Lin actually in the playoffs after having played a full season. But as Kdub alluded to, he got exposed last night, just like he would have gotten exposed if he played for New York, and I'm glad that he didn't. We got the 2nd-seeded San Antonio Spurs playing against the 7th-seeded Los Angeles Lakers with the best player on the planet, based on some opinions, on his couch at home tweeting. We had the San Antonio Spurs pulling out Game 1 victory. How you seeing this series so far, Kdub?
I'm going to go with basically the same setup as Oklahoma City Houston. I say it probably goes 5 with the Lakers winning a game in LA. This would have been a real more entertaining series if Kobe was still playing, but unfortunately he isn't.
Carlton Banks, how you seeing the series going? You got the Lakers.
Sweet! I want a broom. I want to send D'Antoni and company home early. I want to send them home so early it's not funny, all right? Sweet.
All right, well, I guess we understand where he's coming from. He didn't make his opinion, shy or anything. Big Rube, you and I spent several hours of the day yesterday watching the game and just kind of fellowshipping. Take yourself out of the fan seat for a second. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to be a fan in a minute. Seriously, just be an analyst for a second. What did you see? Because you were giving me a lot of good nuggets with regards to what you were seeing in this game yesterday and the things that, as a Lakers fan, frustrated you. So, as a Lakers analyst, why don't you share that with the listeners and Kdub?
As a pure analyst, when you have 2 7-footers in the game, and the other team has a 6'10" in Tiago Spitter, who's terrible, you pound it down low till you get them in foul trouble. They took way too many jump shots, and the fact that Gasol and I can't remember his name right now.
Dwight
Howard only had 36 points. The 31 rebounds were respectable, but only 36 points basically means that they didn't get the ball enough in the paint because it should have been money. And the crazy part about all that is, as we talked about last night, everybody from you and me, the analysts who were there, Kobe Bryant is saying, hey, give it to the two guys down low. And, you know, I don't know if D'Antoni is just that big of an idiot or he's just really just about what he wants because he's looking for a sweep.
Kdub.
He's very stubborn, man. I don't know, man. It comes down to situation. You know what? If you guys want to continue to be good, personally, you're gonna have to eat them 2 contracts and go ahead and bring Phil Jackson back.
Well, you know, there's talk about Phil Jackson popping up all over the National Basketball Association. There's rumors attached to cities as disparate as Los Angeles, and now there's talk that he may follow up another former Laker in Byron Scott in Cleveland. Let me ask you this, dog. Let me ask you this.
Can I get my prediction?
Yeah, go ahead, Big Wu. What's your prediction?
My prediction, honestly, is San Antonio and 7. It's going 7.
San Antonio and 7. I'm gonna share my prediction last. Kdub, real quick, give me something on this game and give me your prediction real quick, and then I'll give you mine.
Which game again? I'm sorry.
We're still with San Antonio and the Lakers.
San Antonio in 5.
All right, I look at this series, and while I don't trust D'Antoni, I just don't see how you can have two of the top 15 big guys in the league, top 10 probably, and I think that at some point you're gonna figure it out. I got the Lakers winning this in 7. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Go ahead.
We'll see. And that's not, obviously, I'm not a fan. I could care less about the Lakers. They might as well be, you know, Manchester soccer team for all I give a good goddamn. So I don't care about the Lakers. But as an analyst, I just can't see how you waste those 2 big guys.
I agree.
I don't see how you waste those 2 big guys, and I think that they could. Against San Antonio, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy on this point, and just, you know, if you got to jump on me quick because we need to move on. But I think in this series against San Antonio, they're better without Kobe because Kobe dominates the ball so much that the fact that you got those 2 big guys on those wings, you can, if you do this right, you feed the ball to them. And, you know, you don't have the shooting guard, whoever the shooting guard is, whoever the dominant shooting guard is, wing guy, you don't have that guy dominating the ball. But let's.
I want to say, I completely agree with you.
They don't have a person that can create their own shot. And they don't have somebody that you can go to say, look, I need to get these 2 points other than those
But that's the only thing. Now you also need Steve Nash, and what's your black dude, the point guard that you kept telling me about that can shoot?
Talking about Jody Meeks.
You need the 2 of them to get the ball in the paint.
Yeah,
and if they can do that, then we can do something.
My thing is, I think the Lakers can win. I don't trust D'Antoni.
Yeah.
Because when it's all said and done, they got to run the plays that the coach calls. And I don't trust D'Antoni. But if we get swept, you hear it right now, if we get swept, he will be fired.
Yeah, well, he's already been given the
kiss of death.
He's already been given the vote of confidence for next season. So we'll see. All right, let's move on. A guy that you and I both know very well and we're very, very fond of, Dub. We got number 42 of the Golden State Warriors, who will remain nameless here for a second. But this is a guy who spent a lot of years in New York. He was a great player, one of the few bright spots for the Knicks during a very, very dark period, who unfortunately during the salary dump where we had to try to get what we thought better players, ended up getting traded to the Golden State Warriors. And then yesterday, that guy played in his very, very, very first playoff game after having played 5-6 seasons in the league, gets hurt, and now David Lee is out for the playoffs. What's your thoughts on Golden State's chances? We also have another beloved Knick running that team in Mark Jackson. Are they going to be able to do something against Denver, or is that it?
Well, you know, for David Lee, I feel sorry, you know, being a original draftee of the Knicks. He tore his hip flexor in his first NBA playoff game after 8 seasons. I think Golden State Denver, that's a very intriguing series. I wouldn't be surprised if that goes 6 to 7 games. It'll be an up and down game. I think that out of that and the Clipper Memphis series, I think those would be the 2 most entertaining series out in the West. You know what? To be honest with you, man, you may have to hit me up a week from now because I could go either way, 6 or 7. To be totally honest,
6 or 7, 6 or 7 with Denver.
6 or 7. It could be Denver. It could be.
It could go either way. You did say that.
I think it could go either way.
But you know, it's crazy because they both lost very, very important players. Of course, with Gallinari going out with Denver, another New York Knicks draft pick that went to Denver in the Carmelo Anthony trade. And then, of course, with David Lee, and they were teammates briefly in New York. It's unfortunate that those two guys being big parts of those teams not being able to be there. I'd really like to see them play against each other at full strength. Carlton Banks, why don't we get from you how you see this series going real quick? Do you see it going beyond 6 games? And if so, who do you think is going to win, Denver, Golden State? We know that Denver has home court. They won game 1.
I look at it like this. I like to see Golden State go further, but truth be told, they don't have the bench power to do it. Manimal is going to step his game up and continue to beat up on him. Unless Stephen Curry can do everything, shoot 40 points a game, Denver in 5.
Denver in 5. Big Rube, how you seeing it going, man?
I really don't know, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's tough.
I think that Golden State's a tough team. The biggest thing is they can score with Denver, but they can't run with Denver.
Yep.
So it's really good. I mean, Steph Curry's got to have a phenomenal series for them to do well, or at least they have to have a phenomenal series from the 3 line in order to win. So I'm going to say that I'm going to stick with Denver, but it'd be interesting.
All right, well, I'm looking at the next series, the final series. Well, actually, let me give my prediction on this one. Like Dub, I'm on the fence, but I'm this one. I usually try to stay away from emotion when it's not my team. I can have plenty of emotion when it's my team. When it's not my team, I usually try to be a fair analyst. So I'm going to go, in this case, with Golden State because that is where Mark Jackson is coaching. So we'll see. Do I think they'll win? No, but that's who I'll root for because, like Dub, I really do think this series can go either way. The last series out in the West, which is probably my favorite series, is the Los Angeles Clippers against the Memphis Grizzlies. And Dub, you and I, we know Memphis very well after having spent some time in that stadium. So we know what they're capable of firsthand, you know, but the Clippers are just tough, man. So we're not going to give like predictions for the rest of the playoffs. We're going to do it step by step. So why don't you tell me first who's winning this series and how many games, and then tell me why.
Man, you know what? That could be a toss-up because I think that Memphis does slow the Clippers down. I'm going to go ahead out there and say the Clippers in 6, but it's going to be very close. It's going to be very close. I really think that Memphis is going to give the Clippers everything they need, everything they want in this first series. So, but I'm going to go ahead out there and say the Clippers.
Let me ask you this, man, because this is one thing that, as we've talked throughout the season, one thing that we have not talked about with regards to Memphis, and, you know, in the interest of full disclosure, we don't give a lot of love to the West simply because we got one West Coast fan in here with the Lakers and Big Rube. Carlton Banks could care less, and you and I are Knicks fans. So we just really mostly stick with the national teams and the national stories. But one guy I want to ask you about, and of course, coincidentally also has Knick ties. What the hell was going on with Zach Randolph, man? What's up with Zebo? He got benched. He didn't play much in the game in Madison Square Garden when the Knicks beat Memphis, getting them back for that game that we went to see in Memphis in November. And he seems to slowly but surely be disappearing in their rotation, in their productivity. What's going on with Zebo?
I think that him and the coaching staff have come to a hard stop. I do remember with the game against New York, he did play substantial minutes. But I think that this could be his last stop in Memphis. I'm not sure if they will, I think that they may look at other options as far as getting someone for him. But you know what, man? I think in the playoffs, you just basically are trying to win and survive and move on to the next game. And he is actually one of the key players that will be involved that would be a reason why Memphis could elongate this series.
Well, we'll see.
And possibly even win it, because if you notice, man, one of the things that you get at Blake Griffin is just playing him very tough. And that's exactly what Zach Randolph does.
Real quick, I want to get out of the West, and I want to dedicate the rest of the time that we have in this segment to the East. But real quick, in one sentence, please give me something on the JaVale McGee dunk. Just give me something.
Listen, man, you know what? I'm gonna be totally honest with the ain't no half step crowd. I didn't see the dunk. I didn't see the dunk. But you know what? JaVale McGee is one of your most. If it isn't him or DeAndre Jordan, I mean that's a toss up for.
I'm gonna tell you. Real quick, for those people who don't know, JaVale McGee's mother played in the WNBA with Nari Roberts at the same period that she played. Of course, we know that she's a personal friend of the show. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. And also, of course, she's also a WNBA champion. But his mom played around the same time she played, and it just kind of trips me out to see NBA players, the children of WNBA players. I get a kick out of that. I'm not really going anywhere with that other than to say I get a kick out of that. But I will say this. I said this to Big Rube when we was chilling yesterday. I'm gonna say it to you before the end of the night when you end this segment, Dub. I need you to go on YouTube. I need you to see this dunk, and then I need you to put some on the fan page so that we can get your comment on it before we get out of the show. Can I get that as a promise on the air?
You get that as a promise, man. I'm trying to actually pull it up right now.
All right. So we can do it during your segment. That would be even better. Let's run through the East real quick. There's really only two series that I really care about in the East. So the first two I want to do quick, and then I want to do a little more time on the other two so that we can get out of the segment, so we can go to what the hell and we can get to our Diva Diary. So if you are tuning in, waiting to hear the Dating Pool Diva and the sisters come in the relationship segment, you definitely are tuned into the right show, because Dating Pool Diva just walked in the building, and we definitely gonna get it in tonight. Ain't no half step with Marcus J live from the Den, LegacyInternetRadio.com and MixLR. All right, we in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I want to go to Atlanta, Indianapolis first. This is the series, literally, of all of the series that are being played right now. This is the one that I care the least about. So just give it to me really quick, though, because I don't even know if these guys even care about this one, because I don't care about Indiana and Atlanta. I'll give my opinion first. Indianapolis is going to win this one probably in 5 games. I don't see any. I think but for Milwaukee, I think Atlanta is the weakest team in all of the playoffs. Real quick, give me something.
I think that Indiana should win. My mind tells me that Indiana is going to win. I would love for Atlanta to actually win the series, and that's for my own personal reasons. But, and not because I like Atlanta, just because the opportunity that the Knicks could possibly come down to Atlanta and play a playoff game. Yeah, I think Indiana will definitely win that series.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say something about the Knicks coming in Atlanta, because you know you won't be going there. You won't be going together. I'll be standing there with you with our man CT. So.
No. We're not gonna chance that. Ain't no half stepping listeners. No, we will not have Marcus J attending no more games with Kdub.
Hey, because I'm bad luck. I mess around. I be there, and it'd be my fault. We lose by 1. Carlton Banks, real quick. Indianapolis and Atlanta. Who's winning? How quick? What's going on, man?
You know what? This is one time I wish I could see both teams go back and make it to the second round, because they haven't been further than the first round and damn near forever.
Right.
So if I had to pick a team, let's go ahead and give it to the Hawks. Just shout out to Dominique Wilkins.
No, anybody knows me, Dominique Wilkins is my favorite player of all time, regardless of what uniform he played. I like him better as a player than I did any Nick. Dominique was my favorite. So whenever you mention the name, you get me excited. That's my dude. Big real quick. Atlanta, Indianapolis, how many games? Who's going to win?
Don't care. Indiana 4.
Indiana's going to sweep according to the law of Big Rule. We got the team that used to play in the swamps of New Jersey that now play in some borough in New York, playing against the Chicago Bulls. The Brooklyn Nets have a 1-game lead. Of course, I just dissed them. They got a 1-game lead on the Chicago Bulls, who are playing not at full strength, but it's the playoffs. You got to do what you got to do. Kdub, who's winning this series? Are the Nets going to pull it out? We know that Yannick Noah's little boy is supposed to play tonight, so we'll see if that makes a difference. Joakim Noah appears to be coming back from plantar fasciitis, which y'all, I know that is one of the most painful things that you can have. It's like, it's very painful. But anyway, what's going to happen in this series, man?
Yes, he is coming back tonight. From what I understand, he's going to have a limited minutes guide in regards to his minutes being played. I think that's going to be the injury that kind of go from moving on. I do see Brooklyn taking that series probably in, I would say 6 games. And again, sentimental, I would love for them to go up against Miami. And, if everything plays out, hey, New York will get exactly what we want, either Brooklyn or Miami. So, I would go with Brooklyn.
Big Rube, who's winning, Chicago or Brooklyn? How many games?
Chicago's going to come back and beat Brooklyn.
How many games?
6.
All right. Carlton Banks, Chicago or Brooklyn, how many games?
Big ups. Brooklyn, 5.
Brooklyn in 5. Okay, I got Brooklyn in 6. So we'll see. Big Rube is having the Fred Sanford.
I just saw the dunk.
He just saw the dunk.
God.
He just saw the dunk. he just saw the dunk. I mean,
yes. Let's get that out there as well. That's what you call stretching out.
Did you see how his feet was like barely off the ground? When he landed, but when he went up in the air, like he got complete elevation. I mean, it's a sick dunk.
Athleticism is just crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Who did he dunk on?
I think that was DeAndre Jordan. No, wrong team.
That wasn't DeAndre Jordan. That was Andrew Bogut.
Wrong team. My bad.
I mean, Andrew Bogut just got faced so hard.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, he needs to not play anymore.
All right, 2 more series, real quick. Want to go to Milwaukee playing against the Miami Heat. I don't think Milwaukee has a chance, so I obviously don't want to spend no time on this. I got the Heat sweeping. Big Rube, what is going to happen? Milwaukee, Miami. I mean, do I even have to ask you?
Milwaukee wins 1.
So it's going to go in 5 games. Okay, Carlton Banks, does Milwaukee win 1 or do Miami win a sweep?
Here go another broom series.
Okay, so the champs winning a sweep. Kdub, real quick. I don't want to spend no time on this one. Save the rest of the segment for the Knicks in Boston. What's Miami going to do? How many games? I think is the right question. 5 games. Okay.
5.
All right.
We're not even going to play around with it.
All right. Let's not even play. All right. So today, J.R. Smith of the New York Knicks is the 6th man of the year. So we're all happy and proud. He's the 3rd Knick after Anthony Mason and John Starks to win the 6th man of the year. And it's ironic that he didn't want to come off the bench because he thought that he was good enough to start, which we all know that he is. But we know Woody wanted him to come off the bench. We had the Knicks winning a tight game against the Boston Celtics on Saturday, 7 points. Real quick, Carlton Banks, I'm going to come to you on this one first. We got Boston, we got New York. Who's winning how many games?
I really like to see New York win. I mean, not to antagonize you. I just like Boston in this situation. I like to see KG. I like to see Paul Pierce go out on top, prove that they can win without Rondo. So that's where I'm going. I'm going with Boston in 5.
Boston, wow, Bill. Okay, so they're going to win 4 straight games. Yeah, you're officially out your damn mind. All right, Big Rule. Boston, New York. Who's winning how many games?
This is the 2nd game out of the first round that will go 7. Boston and New York don't like each other. It's going to be extremely hard for New York to win in Boston, especially now.
After what happened.
I really think they're going to go 7, and I think what's going to happen is both teams are going to win their home games, and that's how the Knicks will go to the next round. All
right, fair enough. Kdub, final thoughts in the NBA segment. What's your thoughts? Who's going to win? How many games?
Well, congratulations to J.R. Smith, New Jersey's own. I'm going to say that it's going to be the Knicks, but with the asterisk, make sure you have your broom ready. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, I personally see the Knicks in 5. I know a lot of the analysts have the Knicks in 6. I think no one expects the Celtics to win this game but for Carlton Banks and Bruce Bowen, the only 2 crazy people that I know. Bruce Bowen at least has the basketball analytics to see it going 6 games. But Banks thinks that the Celtics are going to win 4 straight games against the Knicks, and I think he's officially Out his damn mind. All right, last thing I want to get into in this segment. We're done with all the basketball stuff, but I wanted to keep you in this segment, Dub, because I wanted to get your opinion on two real quick things that are basketball-esque, but not necessarily basketball stories. The first one is Allen Iverson, and there was a story that came out last week. Not anything that we don't know about him, but from what I understand, alcoholism has really taken him out. He's got all kinds of personal problems with financial issues, divorces, and debt, and all kinds of stuff. We know that Philadelphia 76ers honored him a couple of weeks before the end of the season. He almost didn't show up. He showed up late. He had his opportunity to play for them 3 years ago, and it didn't work out. And it's sad at 37 years old, having last played an NBA game at 34. We know that Kobe Bryant right now is 34 years old, but for the devastating injury he sustained, he's probably playing at least a couple more years, and that could have been AI. So what's your thoughts when you think of AI real quick? I mean, we all around about the same age as this cat, and it's just sad because we saw his entire career, and it just all kind of went down in flames.
It's kind of sad, man, but you know what? And I hate to be the hard ass about this, but I'm looking at it like this. I mean, it's a sad situation, but I really don't have that much sympathy for him in this scenario. Reason being is that we've all for years known about this, and I was lucky and I'm fortunate enough to have known some people that has played with him, been in the same environment or what have you, and it just seems as though that this is a perfect example of pride. A number of people have tried to reach out to him on a personal level just to try to help him out, as well as him having opportunities to play in other places to try to get back to the game, and his pride just kept him from accepting those particular roles. And now you have a situation where he has to wait till 2030, I believe, to get a lump sum of a trust fund.
Right.
And from what I understand, he's not really doing too well financially as well.
Yeah.
So it's very unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Someone around our time, we saw him come out of high school, college, professional, and tore it up.
Right.
But it just seems as though that he necessarily hasn't really learned from a number of the setbacks that he's had. He's had during the year.
Carlton Banks, what's your thoughts on AI? You like us, had an opportunity to see his entire career, and now, I mean, obviously, I shouldn't say now as if any of this is new, because we know this ain't new, but the story did come out. There was an article in the Washington Post that kind of got into this, and that's the reason why it's come back up. Real quick, thoughts on Allen Iverson? I
really enjoyed seeing Bubba Chuck come back and get in the league again. I missed him. I really did. He deserves another shot. To see him even in the finals. I mean, not in the finals, but in the NBA playoffs, to get to the finals would be really nice. I really like having him back in the States, though. That's the biggest thing.
Big Rope.
First of all, he probably should have never thrown that chair. First of all. Second of all, he had a chance to come back. All he had to do is go to Turkey, play a little bit, show that he still got some, or at the very least, he could have hung out in China with Starberry. He chose not to do so. And, it's sad. But, all this started because he threw a chair in a bowling alley. Literally. Had he never thrown that chair, he's probably still playing right now.
Well, I disagree with that. I think that he came back from the throwing the chair and the bowling alley incident, and I think the fact that he played in the National Basketball Association, won multiple scoring titles, went to the NBA Finals, won MVPs, All-Star games, I think all of that trumps the fact that he threw a chair when he was 16. So I think it's crazy as hell. I think it's ludicrous that you bring that up and you make that out to have anything to do with the fact that he's having a problem as a 35-year-old.
The reason why I say that is because,
I'm actually fired up that you went there.
You can say that.
Yeah, I
am.
am.
Fired up all you want.
I'm fired up that you went there.
Great. But the problem is, because he threw that chair, it created a stigma that never went away.
No. The fact that he was an asshole since he was in the league is the stigma that never went away. Ain't got nothing to do with him throwing a chair as a 16-year-old. No. He went to college. He played in college. He got drafted #1 overall.
Yeah.
He won scoring titles. He went to the NBA Finals. I went through all of this already.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me all of that is negated by the fact that he threw a chair as a kid?
Because it was all about him.
You lost your damn mind.
I mean, you can say what you want.
We're talking about practice.
I mean,
you lost your damn mind.
But you know what? If he never has that negative stigma, he never has to build on that negative stigma. He was an asshole because he thought everybody figured he was an asshole, so he's like, I'm just gonna play the part. I mean, you can say what you want, but the dude got pardoned by the governor.
I disagree. Bro.
I totally Hey, Dub, take.
Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why I think, because even though the chair incident happened, if you look at his career, he was never denied any type of privileges. I mean, he was able to go to Georgetown. He was able to get drafted #1, gone to multiple All-Star games, played in the finals. I mean, amongst all his peers, he's looked at as one of the good guys, I would say, as far as having a teammate. The thing that I think of what you're trying to assimilate is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, what it is that he had to build up this tough guy and this type of persona, and him trying to, I guess, stay with that persona may have soured a lot of people's mouths, so that now a lot of people don't want to deal with him. I guarantee that, yes, if it wasn't for his cockiness or his attitudes toward authority, I'm quite sure there would have been a number of other teams that would have given him a chance. But I don't think that you could say that the chair incident correlated to him not being able to do things. I mean, he was able to do a whole lot more than other people that were Tommy.
Dub, we're gonna give Ruben the last word on the subject.
Just my opinion.
I know, you and I agree. We're on the same page with this. I think we agree that Ruben is officially out his damn mind. So we will give him. Yes, we do think you out your damn mind. So we're gonna give him the last word on this, because I got one other thing that I want to do. So before we get out of this segment, real quick, bro, what's your last word on this? Because we just told you that you're crazy. So
I mean, that's fine, and that's your opinion. But
which is a fact.
But it's not a fact. But the thing about it is, if people think you're a certain way, you're gonna act a certain way because that's what people already think of you. You know what? I don't deny he was probably a good person. However, every time there was an outburst, it was childlike. The dude went to jail, was pardoned by the governor of Virginia to go to college. I mean, this guy, he made the most of what he was given, and then he still act like an ass. So you can say what you want and everything, but had this never happened, he would have never grown a persona to act like that.
All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree without being disagreeable.
He never got to college.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Last thing I want to ask you about, Dub, is about Brittany Griner. We know that she was the #1 pick in the WNBA last week, and during the press conference, she announced that she was gay. She's a lesbian. And the fact that this is a professional ball player, because she's officially professional now, who comes out as gay, do we care? Is this a story?
Nope.
Not a story. Not a story. Now, the reason why
because here's the thing, man. I would say we've grown as a society that now we should, obviously you want to accept those individuals for coming out, but I mean, let's be we keeping it real on here? Is anybody surprised by that?
I don't think anybody's surprised. And when I talk to JR, who is a contributor of Aint has Steppin Marcus J, and joins us on the first and third Mondays, he said the exact same thing. But here's the reason why I brought the point up. We also did a story on the show a couple of weeks ago about the fact that an NFL, a National Football League player, was thinking about coming out, and that was a big ass deal, and everybody's losing their damn mind about, oh my God, don't come out, you're going to make it about yourself and all of this kind of stuff. But a sister comes out, just because we look at her and we think that, oh yeah, she's definitely gay by looking at her, she comes out, it's not a big deal. But an NFL player might come out, and it's a big ass story. Big rule.
Different sports.
Well, different sports, I understand that, but
I'm gonna stand by my point.
Come back to me, and I'll let you know.
Okay. Go ahead, Big rule.
I'm gonna stand by my point that I made a couple weeks ago. She did make it about her. Because personally, is it gonna change the price of tea in China whether she's lesbian or not? No. Should I care? No. And like I care about the NFL guy, if he ever decides to come out, is it gonna change the price? It's gonna change my gas prices. No.
All right.
I don't care enough.
Kdub, take the next to last word on the segment, because I got the last word.
I look at it like this, man. First of all, when you look at football, you're looking at a sport that's been around for years and years and years. The mantra of football is big, tough guys that's, run through walls, play bloody, so on and so forth, where you have a sport now which is women's basketball that's within the last 20, 25 years has been more accepted or what have you, and you've had these particular stories. I mean, we've heard about Cheryl Swoops being gay. We heard about Cynthia Cooper being gay. These are not things that are shocking to our system. So, when I say it's two different sports, we already have our mindset on how we portray our guys that play football, and then for them to come out of that particular circle is a little sketchy, whereas with the WNBA and those particular players, we pretty much already have seen and have heard those stories.
Let me stop you, not because I disagree with you, but because we run out of time for the segment. First of all, we got the ladies that are joining us, and we'll bring them in the next segment, but one of them just screamed out Chris Bosh. I think we all are wondering about that brother, but if you see his wife, you really wondering, like, I don't know about that one. But we got Jay Grizzy, the host of the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P. Say he was trying to holler at Brittany Griner, so he mad because he ain't know. But here's the thing, and I know I said I would take the last word in the segment, and this will be the last word in the segment because we do need to move on. But here's the thing. I think the fact that we are accepting of women but not accepting of men is the problem. And I think the perception of women in the WNBA being homosexual is part of the reason why she just came on out and everything was cool, whereas a brother who may want to come out in the National Football League is scared. Because we know by the numbers, what they say, 1, 2, or 3 in 10 of black men are either gay or on the down low. I mean, there's a number there. So if you look around the National Football League, there's a whole lot of gay brothers in the NFL. And, whether you have a problem with that or anybody in this room has a problem with that, it really doesn't matter. It's all about that brother right there being able to live with himself. Nobody really cares. But I think the fact that as a country, as a society, we walk around with this stigma of people because of what they do when nobody's around. We make it about us. We make it about our own morals, and if we start worrying about what we doing, I think we'll be all right, and quit worrying about what other people are doing when nobody's watching them but the people that they kicking it with. So that's how I look at that, and the fact that you've got a lot of sisters in the WNBA who are already out and we already know who they are, that makes it easier for Brittany. That's cool. But that first brother that comes out in the National Football League, I think the doors are going to fly open as far as that closet. Carlton Banks, looks like you got something to say. Why don't you give me the last word so we can move on real quick?
I was joking, Ruben, but it was funny. But I mean, to me, why are we even bringing it up? Why do we have to discuss what she likes and what she likes? Can she ball?
Right.
That's the only thing that matters. No. Can she ball?
With me, everything is about the social impact, and the social impact of the fact that a sister could come out and nobody bat an eye, and a brother thinks about coming out and the world just lose their damn mind. First of all, I'm not gay. I don't have a problem with people who are. And I'm going to hug you and love you, whether you're a male gay person or a female gay person. That's just how I am. But I also know that I live in a society where people go to court and people try to write bills to keep these people from being able to do what they want to do. I did a story last week on What the Hell about a gay couple where the guy couldn't even go see his partner in a hospital. He got arrested for trying to be with the dude that he was with. I mean, I don't think anybody who is using logic thinks that it's okay to put out somebody who is somebody's about to freaking die, okay? And the person that they want to be with them in their last minutes, you're going to deny them that because of your messed up morals? I don't know any God, no matter what you call him, is going to be all right with you having issues with someone who wants to have comfort in their final days. That is bull. Ain't no half step in market. Ain't no half step in market, Jay. We're going to leave it there, Kdub. We appreciate it, my brother. We're going to have you back real soon. Why don't you give us your end of the show salutation?
To everybody out there, man. Everybody in Jersey City, enjoy yourselves, man. Put a coat on. I heard it's cold up there. But, everybody enjoy yourselves, and hope to hear from y'all next week.
Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. Live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio, y'all. When we come back, we got the ladies in the building. We got some What the Hell real quick, and then we getting into the diaries. We want to hear what y'all think about that. Give us a call. Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. 804-402-2893. Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping. Be back in 3.